Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Day.
Today is 1-1-1-2-1.
Oh.
Yeah, check that out.
I know.
In 2011, it was awesome. It was 1-1-1-1-1. 1-0-0.
Was that November 11-11-11.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What do we have? Do we have any weird numbers like that this year? 21?
No.
February 1st, 2021?
Yeah.
2121? 2120?
Good one.
Old school.
Yeah.
That's a Rush album. All right. Well, here we are. Winners.
Whoa.
Winners. I'm a winner. You a winner?
Advancing. What?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. It was very cleansing. I guess that's the word I would use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get, 18 years of no playoff wins off our chest. We've got, 12 years since we've been to the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
See, it doesn't matter now. Those numbers don't matter.
It starts over.
It's kind of like there used to be a thing where we hadn't won a game. The Buccaneers had never won a game in, I want to say, 35 degrees or below. And we used to play up in the NFC North. So we went to Green Bay all the time, Chicago all the time, Minnesota before the Dome, I think. And we had never won a game under 35 degrees. And we did in, I want to say it was 1998 or something like that. It's going to be a fact checker follow-up in a playoff game against, oh my goodness.
Was it the Eagles? Was that the Eagles
yes.
one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, no, was it the championship game? It might have been, yeah. So anyhow, once that happened, you've never heard it again. I mean, why isn't everybody going, oh man, we don't play good in the cold because, we've only won 3 games in the cold, But you don't. Once you dispel it, it's kind of like the Matt Ryan curse now. We'll never talk about it again.
Yeah, it'll be over. Yeah. Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah.
The Matt Ryan curse? It's like 10 years.
I just had to do
that
that.
Was a new one. Okay. Cool. Was
Wake
that
up,
Yosemite
everybody.
Sam?
I don't know. Do I have it or was that Yosemite Sam?
Was that Yosemite Sam?
I do not know. I do not know. All right, we got a great show for you if we ever get around to it. We're going to give you some Buck news, and then we're going to talk about how awesome the Buccaneers are. We're going to go over the game.
What?
And are we going to do that first, or you want to do the news first?
Oh, let's just knock the news out.
Okay, we're going to knock news out first. So, news, be prepared. We're coming at you.
Todd Bowles interviewed with the Falcons today. He did. It was a virtual interview. So.
How does that work?
I don't know, but I will be super sad if he goes.
Will you? I bet a lot of people after the Redskins game, they're like, not real happy with how he's running the defense.
Yeah, and I can see that, but at the same time, one, I'm not a fan of people leaving, and 2, it's like, who do you get to replace him?
Right.
Yeah. If we lose Todd Bowles as defensive coordinator, that means we have no defensive coordinator, so
we have
our
to find
search is going to be on. Yeah, and, if that's true, we're late.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Maybe we could get Jim Schwartz or something. Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Although I don't know if he did too good at Philadelphia, man. He was I think he retired, right? He was just like,
I don't know. I had heard somebody say that, but I don't know if that's.
These guys never retire.
I know.
It's like,
whatever.
how many times did Brett Favre retire? Every single one of them in the booth would come back and play if they could.
Yeah.
They don't retire.
Oh, yeah. Like Jason Witten just did that last year. Right? Like,
I'm retired, guys.
Yeah. Where is he? Is he Oakland?
I think so.
Vegas or
Vegas,
Browns?
maybe.
Something.
Yeah. All right.
So we activated Devin White from the COVID list and Steve McClendon. So they're back. But then Kevin Minter went on the COVID list.
Yes. And, you know, that's kind of scary because if he tested positive, then that means everybody in the linebacker room is going to be up for
Yeah.
being put on the quarantine thing. That'd screw us. We'd be dead. There's no way we could win.
I know. All we would have was Devin White.
Yeah, right. Because he's the only one that was around them. Yeah, it could be disastrous.
I know.
Disastrous. I mean,
Well, we
Shaquille
could bring
Barrett and
Chappelle
JPP,
Russell back.
It don't
You know,
matter.
we just waived him.
Don't matter.
Oh,
Yeah, if we don't have JPP and Shaquille Barrett, we're done.
Screwed.
We're done.
Especially around Drew Brees, having to play Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, I haven't heard anything, so let's just ignore it, and maybe it'll go away.
It'll go away. Yeah. That's what we're hoping. Let's see.
The Lions are going to be interviewing Todd Bowles. It's not scheduled yet.
I saw that too. I would not touch that franchise with a 10-foot pole. If I were a coach, I just wouldn't. And it's not necessarily. It's not any. You know, it's not. I don't know that it's really an indictment on the organization, but it just. It's been a rough ride for them, and I'm not sure. That's a lot on your shoulders. I don't know that I would want to be tasked with that.
Yeah, but you know, people used to say that about the Browns. People used to say that about the Buccaneers. Look at us. Well, watch it be a Browns and Buccaneers Super Bowl. How awesome would that be?
Oh, it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
We would win.
Yeah, definitely. But the only team I'm worried about in the AFC is Kansas City. And, you know, we put up a fight with them. We came close. What was it, 3 points?
Yeah, and Atlanta held them to 17 points towards the end of the season. So I am not.
Yeah.
See, I'm not even concerned about them at this point.
And that brings me to, since we're talking about the Kansas City game, you know, our referee crew for this upcoming game against the Saints is Sean Hockley's crew. Now, he during the playoffs, they don't play with the regular crews. What they do all year long is they rate all the officials, and then the officials that have the highest ratings get to do the playoff games, and they put different officials in different crews. But the Sean Hockley is the head referee of this crew. Let's say it's going to be Sean Hockley is the referee. Terry Killens is the umpire. Sarah Thomas is the head judge. Tom Stephen is the line judge. Aaron Stinnie is the field judge. Eugene Hall is going to be the side judge. And Dino Paganelli is the back judge. Now, Hockley reffed us against the Kansas City game. And it was absolutely atrocious. It was week 12. They had 12 uncalled holds, which is a little bit higher than normal.
Especially against the Saints. Oh, I mean, we're playing the Saints, who.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The Saints are notorious for holding, and hopefully I'm going to get that video out. You know, I promised it at the beginning of the year after week 1, and then I was like, but I've got the week 1 clips together. So I'm going to try to get that out and just show how, you know, I mean, these guys cheat. They cheaters. And so anyhow, Hockley's reffing it, and there was 12 uncalled holds, an uncalled false start against Kansas City, that BS roughing call. Remember that against JPP, roughing the passer? SMB got that interception, and there was that crappy roughing the passer where Mahomes was throwing the ball. JPP hit his arm, and then as Mahomes' arm was going forward, JPP's hand deflected off of it and went into his helmet. And they called that. I mean, it wasn't JPP's fault. There was nothing he could do. And of course, the commentator was going, that's going to be called 10
Yeah,
out
that
of 10
was the
times.
Tony Romo game.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And there was a hands to the face on Barrett late in the game, too. So that's 17 uncalled penalties and one bullshit call that really hurt us in that game. That was Sean Hockley's crew. But like I said, there's only one person on Sean Hockley's crew that's going to be on this crew, and that's Sarah Thomas. Now, the umpire, he's the one in charge of holding calls. He watches the line for holding. He's Terry Killens. He's never umpired a game for us this year because he's in the Central 5 crew, AFC. And neither has the line judge Tom Stevens or the field judge Aaron Stinnie. They haven't reffed against us this year. Those who have reffed against us are referee Sean Hockley, head lineswoman. See how I did that? Head lineswoman Sarah Thomas, side judge Eugene Hall, and back judge Don Paganelli. They have reffed against us, and they all sucked.
Well, the bar is low.
I know. But, it's not encouraging at all. We're going to have to do something. We're going to have to do something because they are going to hold us. They're going to hold us all over the place. They're going to do defensive pass interference. And, these guys don't call it a whole lot. So we're going to have to do something. It's going to be interesting. I want to watch that game on All 22, the Saints game against the Bears. And I saw a holding in that game. And I'm going to see how much they got away with there.
Well, I'm looking forward to that for the preview.
I'm excited to watch the Redskins game, see how much holding was in that one.
I know.
I saw quite a bit of holding there, too.
Oh, did you? We just rewatched it. You want to get to that?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's
do
it.
Ready.
Okay, so where do you want to start? You want to start with Rojo? Let's start with Rojo. What the heck happened?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, where was it? I was totally surprised when I saw Keyshawn Vaughn out there.
I know. And, they started Leonard Fournette. I don't know. I feel like there's something else going on there that they're not saying.
Really?
That's how I feel about it.
That's scary.
I don't know. It was just really weird. BA said that Rojo had practiced with it all week, and I went and looked at the injury report, and he was listed on the injury report, but he was a full participant all week. And then they said...
What was it, a hamstring or something?
A quad.
Quad.
So then they said in pre-games, what BA said was that he didn't know if the plane ride aggravated it, which I'm like, how bad does it have to be for a plane ride to aggravate it?
It was a bumpy plane ride.
Yeah, or maybe just the sitting for too long, but even still, that sounds kind of nasty.
I don't know. That long of a flight. And it wasn't like it was to high altitude.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Something's weird here. It just seems weird to me.
But
Fournette did pretty good regardless. He got 93 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
We had 142 yards rushing, so really no complaints there. But it was just kind of a shock for that to happen right. And we didn't even know it until after the game started. We were like, why is Fournette in there? Where's Rojo?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that they'll rest Rojo this week and we'll get him back next week because we're really going to need him for this week.
Yeah. I want to see the Rojo and Fournette 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, LaShawn McCoy, he'll be active too, most likely, right? Isn't he coming back this week?
Oh, is he on? Oh, no, he had some kind of illness, but it wasn't COVID.
Right. So he should be back.
So maybe, yeah, hopefully. I'd be concerned again if it wasn't.
I'm sorry for all you Keyshawn Vaughn guys, the supporters out there. I just don't want to see him in the playoffs anymore. We need to let him sit for another year, give him some training camp time.
He's not ready. He's not ready because he had a drop on one play, and it looked like Brady was just cussing him up and down.
Yeah. And I think he might have been cussing him out twice. That second time, I don't know who Brady was cussing out. At first, I thought maybe it was a ref, and then I was like, nah, they would have kicked him out for that because he was he was throwing his arms and screaming. And I think it was Keyshawn Vaughn.
Well, and then Keyshawn Vaughn had a fumble, too, that we lost.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was his fault, though. That was a really good punch out by the guy.
I guess. But,
yeah. I mean, he had it gripped well, I thought, good, but that guy, he got real low right before Keyshawn hit the ground and just popped it right out.
And I'm not saying Keyshawn, we got to get rid of him or that he sucks or anything like that. No. I just, he's just a young guy. He just needs a little more time.
He kind of reminds me of Rojo in his first year.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
I thought Kevin Minter played a great game. He got that tip ball for the interception on SMB. That was awesome. He had a couple of good plays, I thought. He had a few screw ups out there, but it's to be expected, really. I think everybody did, especially on defense. And but I think he played great, and it's a shame that he's not going to be available for this game. What if, God forbid, White or Devin get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Who are we going to put in? And, a lot of times, or not a lot of times, but a few times, we put 3 middle linebackers out there. So,
yeah. My guess is we'll bring back Chappelle Russell. We just waived him. And He's one of those practice
Bouncing
squad,
back and forth,
casualties. So my guess is that we'll probably bring him back this week.
Yeah. I told you that the special teams was going to hurt us, man. And we had one blocked extra point, right? We didn't have a blocked field goal try, did we? But every single time it was close. I mean, it was like, I was like, oh my God.
There was one from, I want to say like the 15. It was a close one. And it just barely skirted in that left upright.
Yeah. And a lot of it came from the left. One came up the middle, and then one came from the right. I mean, it was like every time it was a little bit different, but the one that was blocked, I think it came from the left, left guard position. But yeah, we got to do something about that. And Mickens, you know, he returned a punt one time. He had 15 yards in front of him, and he hesitated and then went lateral. And didn't, I think he got maybe 2 yards.
I know. You're like,
furious.
If you had just run forward, you would have gotten 15 yards instead of running 15 yards laterally and getting 2. No. Like, it made no sense what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hate it. It just seems like we just do not put anything into special teams, you know. It's like, it's just an afterthought. Just basically don't screw up is what they seem to preach out there. I don't even know how much time they put in the practice on special teams, but you know how many we got, like 15 different head coaches out there. You know, we got all these groups. I remember how last year we were doing the first team and second team were getting the same amount of reps at the same time. Yeah, that was awesome. Are we doing that with special teams? I don't know. We need to have special teams out there getting reps all day long, but probably not because they're second teamers.
I know.
They're out there. Yeah, so, you know, we got the lead in this game, never relinquished it. That's 3 weeks in a row we've done that. We have not had the lead 3 weeks. So, fair.
Yeah, and I didn't really feel like it was close. Like, they kind of started maybe coming back third quarter, early in the fourth.
It to me, it didn't seem like anything they were doing. It just seems like we started screwing up a bit.
Yeah, the defense was just not playing well, and then we had a lot of drops on offense that were frustrating.
I counted 5 by Godwin. It was like, what are you doing? I have never seen him do that before.
I know.
But hey, I'm glad he did it in this game and we won. If we would have lost, it would have been his fault. Yeah. And we would have scored at least one more touchdown, maybe 2, if he just caught the ball. You know? If he just caught half of those 5.
I know. He was targeted 12 times. He only caught 5.
Yeah. One of them was for a touchdown, though.
He had a touchdown. He got 79 yards. So, but I'm wondering either his hands were cold or I noticed he had on different gloves than I think what he normally. I don't know if it's like not the ones like Mike wears that were real
the thin one with the sticky.
Yeah, the thin ones with the sticky stuff. No, these were like look like padded. They were padded.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he normally wears those, but my hypothesis is maybe he didn't practice in those all week, and this was the first time he wore them because it was colder.
Yeah.
That would be my theory.
But who would do that? Who would go into a playoff game wearing equipment you've never worn before?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Ugh.
But yeah, it was not a good showing by him. That was really frustrating. The alternative is that he just choked, which is even more concerning.
There's that. Yeah, first playoff game, choked.
I know.
You know, and you know, our secondary, let's be honest, they weren't the best that they've played. And, you know, they're all young guys, you know, and this is probably a big, you know, a lot of nerves out there and all that good stuff. So, I'm not pooing on anybody. I think our defensive line did well. A lot of people are saying they didn't get enough pressure or any pressure. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Y'all must have been watching a totally different game than I was because I thought they got quite a bit of pressure. And the dude had to scramble. Heineke. He had to scramble quite a bit.
And you got to figure the Washington football team did not announce that Alex Smith was inactive until like right before the game.
Right.
So our
No
defense
game
had
film.
no prep time on Heineke, although, Heineke took first team reps all week. And Rivera made it clear that he wasn't sure who was getting the start. So to me, I think that they probably should have looked at both and not just Alex Smith, and I hope that they did. I don't know. But Heineke, how much tape is on him?
Right.
Not a lot.
Yeah, I think he's taken like 200 snaps in the NFL. Yeah. And I don't think anybody expected to see him, run around like that.
Yeah.
And he played great ball, I thought. He was throwing. He made some really dumb mistakes that could have bit him. A couple times he was getting hit and just chunked it up, and he was lucky they weren't interceptions.
Yeah.
And he threw a couple that landed right in Whitehead. It hit him
I know.
right in the
That's why
chest.
you're on the defense, dude. Like right in the breadbasket.
Yeah, and their receivers had some dropped balls too. Can't say they were out there playing perfect anyhow. Well, we were just the better team. There's no doubt about that. Brady played well. Fournette played well. Our offensive line played great.
Holy crap. Let's talk about them for a minute. That was a really impressive performance from them.
Mm-hmm. Considering,
especially
Donovan
Smith.
He was just beating up on Chase Young all
There
time.
was so much love for Donovan Smith on Sunday, and I was so happy to see it. My favorite was the meme. It's the Michael Jordan meme where he goes, and I took that personally. And the Buccaneers Twitter account had photoshopped Donovan's face on Michael Jordan's body for that meme. So it was perfect. They reposted that video of Chase Young talking shit. And Donovan going, I took that personally.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to talk shit, because if you don't pull through, you look like a fool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Donovan Smith just beat him a whole game.
Yeah,
he hit him a couple times where you could just see Chase Young actually stepped back. It was just like, oh my God. We
were rewatching the game just now, and there was one I didn't pay much attention to Donovan because, normally after Brady passes, the camera's panning down, and so you can't see what's going on with the offensive line but for 2 seconds. But I did pay attention at one point, and it was 3 snaps in a row. Donovan had Chase Young on the ground immediately, and it was embarrassing. It was Chase was on his belly every time. Donovan's just hovering over him.
Yeah, and it's a shame. Alex Cappa, fractured ankle. He's out for the season. Ted Larson stepped in. Now, Ted Larson, Brady had 3 sacks. One, he scrambled, got sacked before he got to the line of scrimmage. One, Larson got beat on a swim move. And the second one, it looked to me like a protection problem. They were crashing left. And somebody got between him and Larson and Wirfs. But other than that, I thought Larson played great. I was watching him when me and you rewatched the game, and I was like, wow, he's out there playing hard.
Really?
He did. I didn't think he played bad at all. The stats may look like it, but I don't think I don't think he played bad, especially considering getting thrown in there. In the mix. He's only been here for a week.
I know. I know. Well, apparently Kappa tried to go back out there, and he couldn't.
Whoa.
I know.
Oh, that's right. Kappa's a beast.
I know.
What was it last year? He played
broke
with
his arm.
Broken arm and stayed out there.
Yeah, came back out. They usually got to tape it up, and then came back out there. I think that was the Saints game, right?
Rub some dirt on it.
I know. I love that. You love that from your offensive lineman.
Especially from your lineman.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but that's really going to hurt us. That's a huge loss.
Now, you were saying Stinnie is going to be playing right guard, right?
Yeah, BA said that he's going to start. But I looked, and Stinnie was inactive last weekend, and that's why he didn't come in for Ted Larson. But he's going to get all those reps this week, so we'll see what happens. And didn't he play for Marpet the other day?
Yes.
When they pulled, and he did all right, right?
Yeah, no, I need to go back and look at my notes. I mean, but I don't. I'm not thinking in my head. Oh no, but so, yeah, I'm not too concerned.
Yeah. Oh, Chase Young apparently suffered a minor ankle sprain, and the worst part of this was on Ian Rappaport's tweets. I went and looked at the comments, and all the Washington fans were pissed. They were like, yeah, okay, when we need you, you get hurt and you're out. Like, you talk all that shit, and then, yeah, they were not thrilled with that.
So, wait a minute. So, was he like trying to use that as an excuse why he didn't play good?
I don't know. That's just what they were. I don't know. Probably. But, yeah, so people weren't thrilled about that. And again, that's what happens when you talk shit and you don't back it up.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, Donovan Smith played great. I mean, it was really and it was kind of like what we talked about. You know, you'd see Chase Young getting all, he'd get them feet going, he'd start to run, and then Donovan would just, stick them arms out like a piston and just, Donovan wasn't chasing him around. Donovan was just hitting him. And knocking him back. And quite a few times I saw Chase Young just stumble backwards, or a couple times he just walked back. He was just like, I am not going to mess with this dude anymore, basically.
Yeah. Donovan, that's what they say about him, is he's the strongest dude on the line.
He does not look like a strong dude.
I know. I don't think so either, but maybe that's what it takes to beat Chase.
Really? Stronger than Wirfs?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what they said in the off season.
Yeah.
All his teammates.
So let's talk about the defensive line a little bit.
Okay.
Barrett kind of seemed a little non-existent. I mean, he had a few good plays, but I noticed watching him that he wasn't rushing that much. It's very strange. He did a lot of dropbacks in the coverage. A lot. And we've been doing that the past couple weeks. Or, let me see, last week. Did he play last week? I can't remember.
No, he was on the COVID list. Remember?
Yeah. Maybe it was JPP that dropped back. But we did. Yeah, no, it was 98 and...
Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson and JPP that they dropped back a lot last week before.
Or O'Connor.
Against Atlanta.
98 O'Connor. Yeah. I think 98 is Nelson.
And it looked like they did that a lot this week, too, against the Redskins, Washington football team.
I can't help it either.
Can I just say Deadskins or Foreskins? How about that?
I know.
The Foreskins.
Less offensive, probably.
Yeah. Well, the Jewish people get upset about that. Somebody will get offended about something. But there was quite a bit, especially in the first half, where he didn't even rush and he didn't drop back in coverage. He just kind of stood there in containment. Very strange. I don't know what that's all about. I'm excited to watch all 22 to figure it out. But he didn't. There was a lot of that. So he didn't show up on the stat sheet a whole lot, I would imagine. JPP, I thought he played well. The interior, I thought, was getting great push. Sue and Nacho, I thought they did pretty good.
Yeah, their run game was they got 86 yards. Heineke had 46. He was their leading rusher.
Yeah. I mean, who saw that coming? I didn't see it coming. I had no idea that little dude could run.
I know.
He played a pretty good game, but you could tell he was a little bit frantic out there,
Yeah, I'm sure it was really intimidating for him, but I think that they played so well. I think Washington, they should be really proud of what they put up, because considering the circumstances, I think that they put up a good fight. They didn't get blown out, not like the Chicago Bears did.
Right, right. And, or like Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
They didn't really get blown out, but they might as well have. Their performance was atrocious.
I know.
And that goes back to the Redskins didn't play anybody all year long. So like the only team they beat with a winning record, didn't we say, was the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
look, the Steelers just aren't that good. How they went 11-0, I have no idea.
I think they played crappy teams too.
That's right. They played the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
So they had crappy teams. Probably the first 10 games was NFC East, right?
Yeah. Anthony Nelson is 98.
Okay. So Anthony Nelson, yeah, he was dropped back into coverage a lot against Atlanta. Week 17, him and JPP. But yeah, I saw with Barrett in this game, I'd say at least 10 times they dropped him back in coverage.
Like, stop that. I thought that Washington's pass protection was really good.
Yeah, well, that's another thing with Barrett. He got double teamed when he did go in a lot. They were very smart with that, I thought.
Yeah,
he's a guy you need to double team, and they did it a lot. So that's I don't know what his stats look like or anything, but he didn't rush a whole bunch, or there was quite a few plays where he didn't rush as much as he just kind of stood on the outside edge. There was at least 10 plays where he dropped back into coverage. And then the other times when he did rush, probably half of those times he was double teamed. So he probably only had 15, rushing opportunities during that whole game.
He got his stats. He had 2 tackles, 1 solo, and a TFL.
Okay. Not bad. And he wasn't out there. How many snaps did he get?
I don't have the snap count up.
Okay. We'll do that next podcast.
Okay.
So, don't be upset that Barrett didn't do anything. It didn't look like he was designed to do a lot this week. So.
I mean, was he playing containment on Heineke, or it was more the pass? He was in coverage.
Well, he was in coverage, like I said, 10 plays. I don't think he was playing containment on Heineke as much as it was just the run game, or he was just kind of sitting out there to, bat the ball down. I don't know. But yeah, it might have been him taking plays off.
Interesting.
Maybe he didn't have COVID, right? He was just
right. He was a close contact.
Okay. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I thought our defensive line played great. Can't really say a whole lot about our linebackers. I saw David made some good plays, made a splash play there at the end. And then Minter, I thought he played good.
Yeah. The secondary.
Man, that one time when he come flying in and Heineke went to throw the ball and he jumped up in the air.
Oh, we did like Jamel Dean.
Yes, like Jamel Dean week 3 or whatever it was. Oh, it's like, man, if you would just stayed on your feet and went after the quarterback, you would have killed him.
Yeah.
And, Heineke pulled the ball down and ran, and that's when he got that big run on us, or one of the big runs on us. And that was a 3rd down, too, I think. Mm-hmm. That hurt. And that one, I want to say JPP was held on that one. No. On that, yes, I think JPP was held on that one. On one, Barrett did go in and he got pushed to the outside and left. He didn't have containment, left that side of the field open, and Heineke ran out there and got big yardage. It's kind of a mistake on Barrett's part there.
Yeah, that's how they get you, those running quarterbacks.
Yeah. And especially if you're not expecting it. If you're expecting a quarterback to run, you play a little bit different.
Well, I mean, that's how all of them get you, is all the running quarterbacks. That's how they're successful. That's why they're so successful in the beginning of their careers. And then as they get more and more tape on you, it's just harder and harder to do that.
Right.
So Heineke took advantage of that.
Yeah. Cam Newton is kind of an exception in that he's just so big. He's just hard to tackle.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna get a few yards no matter what.
Right, but at this point in his career, he's so beat up that it's hard to.
I think that happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's just, is a bag of bone dust.
I know.
He's shaking.
I'm telling you, and probably metal. There's a lot of metal in there. We had 507 yards total to their 375.
That's crazy.
I know.
We have hit. God, that's got to be 1,500 yards in the past 5 games, 4 games.
Wait, Tom Brady had a franchise record. Okay, it passed. He had 381 passing yards. So that exceeded Brad Johnson's 259 yards in the 2002 NFC Championship.
259 yards.
So Tom has the record, and then he also matched the touchdown record with 2.
Wow. That's the most we've had? Yeah. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Eesh.
I know. I think 2 passing.
Well, going back to the 256 yards, used to be a 300-yard game for a quarterback was a big deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But the game's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Much more pass heavy and offensive heavy. So, 300 games now is just like, you get 5 or 6 of them a year per quarterback.
Tom Brady has now beaten 17 different teams in the playoffs.
17?
17.
Oh, in the playoffs?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's half the league.
That's over half the league.
I know.
Damn. He just lines them up, don't he?
I know. I wonder if he's got one of those like scratch off things, like, you can
Bingo.
do it with a map where you're like, oh, I visited all these states.
If he does it, we should make one and send it to him. Oh my gosh, he hasn't beat the Saints in the playoffs, so
no.
Let's rack that one up. Let's give him.
Oh gosh,
18.
So he has beaten every single AFC team. Like there's 16 teams, and he's only been in the AFC, right?
Well, they're probably counting Super Bowl in that too. So he's won 6 Super Bowls.
Okay. So that would be 6 NFC teams and then 11.
Browns haven't been to the playoffs, so he's never beat the Browns in the playoffs.
That's true. Okay, so it's probably 11 AFC teams and then 6 NFC teams.
Well, has he beaten 6 separate NFC teams in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Okay, that'll be a follow-up and fact check.
There we go. That'll be a fact check.
That one's going to be a project.
That'd be a follow-up, yeah. All right. Mike Evans, that one deep pass to him, he just stuck that one arm out there. Was he trying to get a highlight play? I hate it when they do that.
I don't remember that one.
It's possible that the defender was holding his one arm.
Oh.
Or
he might have wanted it to look like they were holding it in case he didn't catch it so he could get the flag.
I'm going to look at that on tape and see what was going on. It's just, he just stuck his arm out, it just bounced right off his arm. Like,
he had a couple, too, that were like right in his hands that he should have had, I thought.
How about that Brait touchdown that was called back?
His face hit it.
I'm going to knock the ball out of my hands with my face.
Man. But Cam Brait had a really good game.
Yeah, he did.
That was like his best game of the season. So I was glad to see that. I like Brait.
God, how do you stop this team? I'm serious.
I know.
If you stop Mike Evans, we've got Godwin, Scotty Miller, Antonio Brown, even Johnson is out there doing stuff.
I know.
You stop Gronkowski, we got Cameron Brait. You stop Cameron. I mean, that's 7 receivers that are like elite level. At least 5.
We don't even need a running game,
No. We just do that for fun.
I know.
We do that to run the clock out. We do that because the offensive line likes it, I think.
Yeah, probably. Antonio Brown. Okay, I feel like we've incorporated a lot of like end arounds with him in there, and they're like designed especially for him.
He's fast.
Yeah.
We did it with
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller too.
Okay.
We did one with Scotty Miller.
Quick guys.
Yeah.
I like those, and Antonio Brown's really good at them. So let's
Yeah.
keep those up.
Yeah, they're fun. I like those little tricky plays.
Yeah, I think so too. We don't do enough tricky stuff.
No, we don't. It drives me.
So
It's so. I like the tricky stuff. New Orleans does it.
What
The
Taysom
Panthers
Hill?
used to do it. Kansas City is, the top level. They're the ones that you don't know what the hell they're going to do. They are always coming up with innovative stuff. The Patriots, Patriots do plays. They're a very boring team, but they have probably about 4 plays a game that are unique that have never been seen in the NFL before. And you're just like, whoa, that was really awesome.
I think Belichick's just bored at this point. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
let me see what I can do. Let me try.
It just
some
always
stuff.
seemed to be an MO with him. It's just like, I'm going to play this boring game that's going to put you to sleep. And then every now and then I'm going to do something to make you, what was that?
It's like a race, like NASCAR, where you fall asleep except for the wrecks. Like you can hear it.
Like, oh.
I don't have anything else on the Bucs game. I did want to mention the other playoff games were all really good, except for the Cleveland game and the New Orleans game. They were both blowouts, but all the other games were really good. The Colts-Bills game, I was not interested in that whatsoever. That was a really close one, and they played really hard against each other.
Yeah.
So that was an exciting game.
I was happy to see the Bills win it. It's been a while for them.
Yeah, they broke their streak.
God, since 19.
Was it 95?
Was it
I think
95?
it was 95.
Yeah. And, but at the same time, I really like Phillip Rivers.
I do too.
He's fun to watch, and he just seems to have a great personality. Everybody says he's the biggest shit talker out there. And he does it. He never cusses.
He doesn't
I do
cuss.
not know how you can do that. I'd love to hear it. But, yeah, it was a good game. The New Orleans-Chicago game, there for a while, I was like, ooh, Chicago could win this because they held New Orleans at 7-3 for a long time.
Yeah, by like halftime, it was still 7-3. And then New Orleans came out.
Chicago's football, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then one of the Chicago receivers got ejected.
Yeah, punching somebody.
Did he punch? And that happened the last time with a different receiver. Remember, he who was it? Was it Chauncey Gardner where he pulled the mouth guard and then punched the dude?
Yeah, pulled his mouthpiece out and punched him.
Well, it was the Chicago receiver did that, I think, to Chauncey Gardner.
Yeah.
And got ejected.
That was the one we talked about here on the podcast. He went over, pulled the mouthpiece out, punched the guy in the helmet, and the guy turned around and was like, what in the world? And then he punched him 2 or 3 more times in the face. And the whole time the guy's like, refs. But I mean, they were serious roundhouses.
I know, he was trying to
knock
hit
that dude out.
Yeah.
But this was a different
receiver, yeah.
17, I think the other one was 87.
Just weird,
Chicago got
hotheads.
receivers.
Yeah.
Or the Saints cornerbacks. I mean, same thing happens with Mike Evans. He gets into it with these guys all the time. I'm telling you, this Saints team.
Well, I think Mike's
cheaters.
a hothead too. That's really good at controlling himself normally, but
Except against the Saints, man. These Saints cornerbacks. But I don't think it's just the
push his buttons.
We're going to see a lot of fighting with this between us this game. Yeah, especially if these.
I love it.
Me too.
Let's get a brawl going.
Yeah, I think we could beat their ass.
I want to see our offensive line. I want to see Donovan punch Cam Jordan. That's what I want to see. Let him get mean. Or Jensen.
Oh my gosh, we'll probably get banned for inciting violence here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would love to see, but I think we're going to play a lot. You got to figure, week 1, first time Brady had ever been in this system. And there was in that game, I think he threw a couple of interceptions. Did he throw a pick 6? I think I can't remember. And they were miscommunication issues. We had that. We got to remember there was a lot of miscommunication issues first part of the year, and the Saints were just lucky enough to get up in that. And there was we lost that week 1 game because of the refs. No doubt in my mind, 100%. It was just holding all over the place, and they didn't call it. And, they did it the same week 9. There was a lot of holding in that game. Not as much as in week 1, but that's what they do. That's what they do. So expect some of that in this game, but we're going to be ready for it this time. We're going to be, I hope our offensive line holds. If they're not going to call it on now, we need to be on, we need to be on top of it.
Yeah.
But, our offensive line is playing a lot more aggressive. They have been since the bye week. And, our offense is clicking really good. There's not a whole lot of miscommunication in there. Now, our defense is the exact opposite. In the first half of the season, our defense was killing it, up until Vita Vea got hurt in the Green Bay game. And then after that, defense has kind of gradually gone down. These guys got to get the secondary, man. They got to do something. Now, I haven't watched the game film, so I'm not going to blame anybody yet. You can't. There's one thing about the secondary, man. You cannot watch the broadcast and tell whose fault it is. I don't care what you think. If you see a guy near a guy and a guy catches the pass and there's a cornerback right there, you might think, oh, that's his fault. He got beat by that guy. But you don't know. You don't know if he was supposed to be covering that guy. You don't know if it's just that's why I can't stay in Pro Football Focus, because they don't look at the game. They don't look at the all 22 to make their judgments on the secondary or any of their things. And it's just silliness. Because a lot of times I saw it in this game, 24 and 23, Davis and SMB ended up covering the same guy. And leaving a guy open.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And, you got to figure out whose fault that was. You got to look at, and plus, you'll never really know, because the only people that know are the people that were in the room when they came up with the game plan.
Or who know the play.
Right, who know the play. And, you could say, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. That's why I love man coverage so much. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it makes it so much easier to tell whose fault it is. Mm-hmm. But then when you got all these dang weird zones and you can't tell. So I'm not going to put anything out there against the secondary just yet. Actually, I think our safeties played really aggressive. They were. Oh,
there was that one play where the receiver tried to hurdle over Antoine Winfield Jr. and he just stuffed that down. It was like my favorite play of the game, probably.
Hey, tell him your nickname for Winfield.
Oh, okay. Mighty Mouse. Mm-hmm. I like Mighty Mouse.
He's so stocky.
I know. He's built like him, and just like compact but powerful.
There was that one play where the running back or receiver, it might have been a screen or something to the outside edge, and he was going, and there was all these blockers, and it was just, you're like, oh, who's going to get him? And it's just like out of nowhere, you see Whitehead just running full speed, just come blasting up in there. Now, he didn't get a good hit on the guy, but he got enough of him to knock him out of bounds. But I was like, man, it just looked like everybody else was in slow motion, and then Whitehead comes through like the Flash. He was just like, unblocked. He saw a hole. He went for it, man. That was good. And, Minter was all up in there. David played great. I have to look and see, it might have been the scheme. We got to remember that. It's not, sometimes bowls will have these guys play off and let teams matriculate down the field.
Yeah.
And so it might not be their faults. You get mad at them, like SMB. You'd be like, why is he catching this ball around SMB all the time? SMB sucks. Then you look at the game, it wasn't his fault. Or, he was obviously told to play off the ball 10 yards, keep everything in front of him, blah, blah, blah. So, can't get mad at the secondary yet. But they're going to have to play better. Either they're going to have to play better or Bowles is going to have to do something better.
Yeah. And BA brought that up. Like, we're not going to be able to beat the Saints playing like that on defense. So,
well, we can stop the Saints. Falcons are a little bit different to me. Falcons, it's Dirk Cutter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good offensive coordinator. And, they just got the weapons, and Matt Ryan is just really good at getting the ball down the field. The Saints, it seems like you can stop them sometimes. If you get Drew Brees flustered or thinking about his jewelry investments, he's going to start making mistakes.
And especially this time of year when his arm's tired. The noodle arm is just
he
very
had like
noodly.
4 or 5 weeks off.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not worried about deep balls with them that much. He might get 1 or 2, but he's no Tom Brady. He ain't going to be throwing 12 a game.
BA brought up that Deontay Harris. He said he's the one that's going to be a problem. And he played well against the Bears. I think that he's just come back from injury or something. I don't know what he
Isn't he their kick returner too?
Yeah, he's their kick returner.
Dangerous.
So I'm like, that guy I feel like is a bigger threat than Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah. Or Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, that's like a whole different beast. He's just on another level. I don't even want to talk about that.
But with our offense being clicking, I think our offense is better than their offense, and we can score more than they can.
Yeah.
I think it's really going to be it's going to be a possession thing. Who gets possession more?
Well,
turnovers are going to be huge.
Have we faced a defense that's as good as the Saints defense here lately?
Lately?
I don't know that we have.
You mean as far as how our offense is performing?
Yeah, since our offense is really clicking, have we even seen a good defense?
Okay. So, who'd you say? The Rams?
The Rams. We saw the Rams week 11.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Both teams are really familiar with each other, and Sean Payton has gotten the best of Bruce Arians for the past 2 years, with a lot of help from the referees
and the Bucs. And I was listening to Rick Stroud today, and he was saying the last time we beat them was with Fitzmagic. Remember
week
that?
1,
yeah,
3 years
week
ago.
1, 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it's been like 5 straight meetings we've lost to them.
Yeah. Well, it's time for a change. I mean, flip a coin 6 times, see if you get six heads in a row.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rarely, and we're very similar teams, in a lot of ways. We got these high-powered offensive weapons, these Hall of Fame quarterbacks, good running games. Good defensive lines. That I think, unfortunately, their secondary is a little bit better. I'll say their cornerbacks. I think our safeties are a little bit better. But linebackers, I think we got them beat in linebackers. I think it's really going to be a matter of attrition. We have to just get the ball, go down the field, score. They're going to get the ball, go down the field, score. It's going to be turnovers, and it's going to be the players are going to have to execute. We can't have screw-ups out there. And the coaches are going to have to execute. I mean, these guys are going to have to come up with some good game plans. Sean Payton's going to. Sean Payton is not going to come out there and play. He does this in the playoffs. He comes up with some good, crazy stuff, and usually it works. We're going to have to do that too. Not so much Arians, because I don't think they're going to really be able to stop our offense, but Todd Bowles. I really think that our defense needs to do something different. But our defense does a lot of weird stuff. We do a lot of disguising and coming at you from different directions and all that. We just got to figure out some wrinkles in that system. We need to do some just change it up a little bit. So
I agree. I concur.
We need turnovers. Turnovers is what is going to win this game, I think. If it was me, I wouldn't have the rush going that much. I'd blitz every now and then, of course, but getting to Drew Brees is really hard for a number of reasons. One, offensive line is pretty good. 2, when you do get to him, he just throws the ball in the dirt and never gets called for intentional grounding. It's so annoying. And so it's really just, and it was Gerald McCoy that pointed this out. He was like, look, Drew Brees is a short guy. He has a hard time seeing over the line of scrimmage. So, when he drops back, put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we've got JPP, we've got
Golston, Nelson.
Barrett. These guys got these long arms. They bat balls down all the time. I think we should really focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much trying to get to Drew Brees. Of course, you have to try and get to him. But be more attentive to keeping your arms up and making it hard for him to see downfield, and especially when he goes to throw. Get your arms up. Because, just a couple batted balls might make the difference in this game.
Mm-hmm.
We bat down a lot of balls.
Yeah, Goldston's great at it.
JPP's excellent
at
it, too. Yeah.
He's better at catching it, too. 2 interceptions,
right?
3.
Yeah.
What he's got?
I think he's got 2.
Okay.
This year. And then, I think this is going to be a very, very close game, and it's going to come down to, basically who makes the most mistakes or who makes the most big plays. Things like, special teams, run backs, punts, punt returns, blocked kicks. I think stuff like that is going to be the difference in this team. It's not going to be, because everybody knows we're going to score 30, 40 points. Everybody knows they're going to score 30, 40 points. It's just going to be who's going to be able to keep the other person from scoring more points.
Yeah.
And
I hope we can put up the points against them. That's where I'm concerned too. I mean, the last time we met them, it was a 38-3 game. I do not want to see that again.
Yeah. I kind of blacked that game out of my memory, so.
I'm with you. I have PTSD. I can't help it.
I should have looked at my notes. So next podcast we do, when we preview that game more in depth, I'm going to look at my notes from that game and see what it was that really happened.
Okay.
All right.
So
guys, man, we did it. We got another week of football. It's awesome. Unfortunately, we had to play the Saints. We were all hoping that the Bears would win, but the Ravens beat us too. And
it was a close game, 27-24.
And that was week 11?
Yeah.
Or week 12? I think it was
week 11.
You sure?
Yeah, I just looked at it.
Okay. And they've got a mean defense.
Yeah.
Meaner than the Saints, I think.
Oh, yeah, and they played well against the Seahawks. Kept Russell Wilson at bay, which his line is trash and gets him killed.
Yes.
But
yeah, you pointed that out about week 10, I think it was. You were like, this line sucks. And then after that, it was like, he just
runs for his freaking life every play.
Every play, yeah.
They got to do something about that.
What can they do?
I don't know. I think one of their guys is a rookie somewhere on that line. I think during the playoff game they were talking about him.
They used to have a nice, good offensive line, but it seems like ever since they got Russell Wilson, it's just not been a priority for him because he's got wheels.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you get a quarterback with wheels. You get, I don't need an offensive line that can block.
It's kind of
my quarterback
secondary.
can avoid them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But so we'll look into a much deeper analysis of the New Orleans Saints game. I really want to break it down as to what I think we can do, what might happen, what happened last time, why it's not going to happen this time. We're a different team now than we were last time we played. The 2 times we played them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about it, man. But we got one more game. We got 2 extra games this year.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? That's the best thing about playoffs. You get an extra game. I know. But I'll tell you, I was sweating it while I was here. We were so exhausted Saturday night. We didn't go out and do anything. We just laid here on the couch.
I know. We were going to. I've had my New Year's resolution is to quit drinking soda, and I forgot this. But the last time I quit soda, I had like 3 days of migraines. And so Saturday, I had a headache like right behind this eye, and I had a drink the night before. So I was like, yeah, maybe, I just didn't have enough water. And then I still got it. It's Monday. Still got that headache. So.
Yeah. And then I drank too much Friday night, and I was kind of hungover Saturday. And then we had company all day Saturday, and I by the time the game came on, we were exhausted.
I know, we were just on the couch.
We had
we were stress eating instead of drinking.
we weren't even like really cheering hard because we were just so tired.
And then we stress ate, so we were just miserable.
But I did start cussing the screen because in the second half we started, not playing as well, and they started coming back and getting close, and I was like, no. And that's the thing that sucks about the playoffs, it's also what makes it fun. It's that this is it, one and done if you don't win this.
Sudden death.
Yeah, the sudden death. So we got another one coming up. It's Sunday at what time?
6:40.
6:40
on Fox
Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, we get to see the Tom Brady graphic.
Oh, the Hulk Brady.
That'll be Fox.
Hulk
yeah.
Brady.
Hulk Brady.
All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be working on the game film. Got it all set up. Getting ready to clip it up all day tomorrow. So I'll have the part 1 of the Tiffy. See what interesting things we can find in that. And
that's the thing about playoffs too. You get some extra
game film.
Episodes.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucs.